Everyone, it's TB Shores. It is March the 13th, 2021. It's 10:21 a.m. This is my third attempt on this video, and I won't get into the reasons why, but here we go. Okay, we're going to look back just a little bit at this verse 10 in Psalm 55. Now remember, the Lord had shown us with this day and night that He has put in here about the pea gland. I'm going to start calling this the pea gland because I feel I need to, okay? About the pea gland, which is the seat of the soul, which, as we saw in the tabernacle in the wilderness, the Holy of Holies held the mercy seat, and that's where the Lord would dwell. The pea gland is that seat for the Lord within this temple, okay? So as the Lord is showing us that He's got nuggets in His Word to show us about where we are and what's going on, as I continue, I think it's going to become even more clear. But we're going to look back at this word night. Okay, the day represented the pea gland because of the 24-hour cycle, and we know that the pea gland is connected with the circadian, or circadian, however you say that, rhythm of the body, which is how light and dark affect it. Okay, and from a spiritual standpoint, we see it the same applies. It's about how the light and the dark affect this seat of the soul, this place in which I'm trying to think of where. Well, I won't get into that right now. We'll probably get into that as I go. But I wanted to get back to, just for a second, and elaborate on what we're seeing here with this, where the Lord was showing us this right here. Twist away from the light. Okay, we established that twist, meaning of twist, that the Lord wanted us to focus on was this: make something by interlacing or winding strands together and entwining. Okay, so when we understand that, and we're going to go back and revisit just a little bit those two dreams the Lord had given me in connection with understanding that I was hearing Him correctly about the falling away and how the stick actually plays a part in that. But as we look at the word away, we saw that away means to be absent from a place or gone. So again, I want to reiterate, this is the Lord showing us. It's about an interfacing or interlacing of something that brings about the absence of the light. Okay, now with that thought in mind, I want us to pop over here to this video that I had done a few days back. Let me see, I'm trying to find my spot here. It's right here. And remember, this is about silencing the voice of the Lord within us. And when we look at these dreams, and that's clearly what they're speaking to, these dreams are speaking to that silencing of the voice. The first dream is, and the second dream is speaking to what takes place because of it. Okay, so we're just going to pick up right here, the first dream. The flow of the living water, which is Jesus, no longer flowed like it did before. It no longer flowed through this temporary dwelling. It was the intake, the consuming of it was no longer able to be done. It it had been ruined, so to speak. It had been altered to where it did not function right anymore. The intake of the living water did not function right anymore. So that dream seemed to be confirming to me. Okay, so when we think about, let me pop back over here. When we think about this interlacing of something that will bring about the absence of the light, of course, we know the light to be the Lord, and He is the living water. And this dream is about a change taking place that brings about the removal or the lack thereof of the inflowing of the living water. Okay, that's what that dream was about. Now, when we pick up at another spot, talking about the second dream, we see, okay, that dream very simply was, I saw someone whose name was Grayson, who's from the back of their head looked like a computer, and the front of their head, they looked normal. Okay, this is about that merging or that interlacing, as the word showed us over there, of a computer and flesh. Okay, and with this name Grayson, it's about becoming a son of the darkness, and the word gray gives us a look into what that means as we look at the synonyms, which means to be similar to or be like. So gray indicates colorless, nondescript, unremarkable, faceless, lifeless, soulless, passionless, spiritless. Okay, so that is what will be created within through this interlacing that will take place. Now, because of the flow of the living water having been changed, having been done away with, and of course that speaks directly to what the Lord is trying to show us with this twist and this away of the light, meaning absence of the light. So what I want to point out here is how this connects back to Genesis 11, which is the Tower of Babel. And as you can see, we see that same spiral design, and all the pictures that I looked at depicting the Tower of Babel had a similar spiral design, which goes back to understanding of the staircase, okay, and what it represents as the building blocks. So when we look at that and we understand what took place in Genesis 11, and I'm going to read it to you. I haven't got it pulled up on the computer, but I'm going to read it to you out of my Bible. Genesis 11:4. It says, "And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach into heaven." Okay, that's about work of the hands, reaching up to and elevating to that place of the Lord. Okay, and we drop down here to let me point out one more thing in that verse, and it says, "And let us make a name." Let us make a name. Okay, that goes back to in 2 Thessalonians, where we saw the pride of the son of perdition, because he wanted to show himself that he was God. Okay, that he was as God. I can't remember exact wording. Don't hold that against me. Okay, so here we go, and we come down to in Genesis 11 verse 6, and it says, "And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do." Well, let me just stop there. They have all one language, They are one and they have all one language. And see, that is a picture of what the Lord wants us to be with Him. He wants us to be one with Him, and us to have one voice together. And He speaks to us through this spiritual seat within our body, which is known as the P gland. Okay, I'm going to call it the P gland from here on out. Like I said, because I feel I need to. So when we look at the similarities here, it's about they were one and had one voice, one language. We come on down and it says, the Lord says, go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Because the Lord saw need to interrupt what they were doing. Okay. He confounded their language, meaning to confuse. Okay, confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. And that gives us understanding as to what the enemy is attempting to do, in that he mimics and copies and mocks things of the Lord. So what he's attempting to do is to confound the language of God within us and shut it off. And it will leave a very confused state within people. Wait a minute, I'm just looking at the scripture, see if there's anything else I need to cover. So you can clearly see how what took place at the Tower of Babel gives us understanding as to what the enemy is trying to do by his attempt of this interlacing of I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be careful. The building blocks and what he's trying to do there with the interlacing into that to silence the voice of God. I'm going to cut this off here, and we'll pick back up on this in the next video. Love y'all. Bye-bye.